Configuration drift is one of those silent problems that can often build up. They creep up on you over time. Um, you may have someone make a quick change here, another adjustment there at a later time, and before you know it, your very carefully planned infrastructure configuration can look quite messy, like a bit of a jigsaw puzzle. So tracking these changes manually is often really tedious, and it's almost impossible to scale if you're not on top of it. So VCF 9's configuration drift detection uh, built into VCF operations, it works to help prevent these changes from going unnoticed. So configuration management allows you to create configuration templates, and I'll show you one of those in a minute. You create the templates for your vCenter instances and your clusters. The system then monitors your environment and alerts you when any of these configurations drift out of their desired state. And their desired state, yes, all of this is user defined. All right. So this means that you can ensure that your environment will remain consistent and compliant. And you can do this at scale across your entire VCF fleet. All right. So it takes away, all of the manual tracking and Excel spreadsheets and things that you may have had in the past. Configuration drifts show configuration changes at a point in time, and it compares them to desired values. And it's all proactive. So it's a proactive form of management instead of, having that reactive, firefighting type of approach. All right, so best way to showcase how all this works is to jump into a demo. Once again, we're logging into VCF operations. Okay, you can see here, we'll just expand fleet management. We'll go into configuration drifts. We'll expand the view here. So we have a VCF instance. In this case, the VCF instance is called VCF instance 1. All right. Now this is a vanilla environment, so there's nothing here. We're going to create a configuration template. All right. Now in this case, we're going to create a template to monitor changes for NTP, all right, and SSH. All right, so we're creating this. We're going to call it SSH and NTP, put a bit of a description in there, and we're going to select a source vCenter server, all right, which will be our source server to configure what we want to be our desired template. All right, and then we can use that particular source server and then apply this configuration template across a VCF fleet. All right, so we'll hit next here. This is pretty cool. This is very, very granular. We can go down here and we can choose what we want to monitor. So in this case, I'm selecting SSH and I'm also going to select NTP. You can also see it here, kind of written in code if you don't want to use the UI. I think this is actually quite easy to manage. We hit create. And that's it. All right, that's our configuration template. What we then need to do after we configure the template is that we actually need to assign the vCenters to the template. All right, so you can choose to assign one or more vCenters to a particular template. You may have another template that may only be specific to another vCenter or set of clusters. You get to choose how you build that out. All right, so in this case, we're assigning it. All right, and we've assigned it to, in this environment, we only have one domain, so this particular vCenter. Now, what I'm going to do now is we're going to actually go in and edit the policy. So we set this up initially for SSH to be enabled, all right, and NTP. I'm going to go in and now edit the policy and show what it looks like. And we can just edit this manually, all right? But we're going to change the policy so that SSH is now not enabled. All right, so I'm going to hit save. All right, so that's our new policy. And remember, we've already applied this policy already to a vCenter server. So I'm going to go in here and go back down to the instance. All right, can't see anything that's changed yet. Okay, so we might just need to give it a little bit of a poke. We'll go into drifts. All right, we'll select our vCenter server and we'll actually hit detect drift. All right. And bingo. Okay. We can see that we have detected a drift. Let's go in and have a look. And there it is. All right. So this is the current value that is set to this vCenter server. This is the desired value that we've configured for the template. All right, you can see they're different. True in red, false in green. So from here, just gives administrators a way to actually, track their changes, and then they can go in and make those and remediate the environment to suit. Now, what we can also do is set up and schedule drift detection. Okay, so you can schedule this to happen daily or weekly or at any time you like. So in this case, let's just set it up. We set up weekly or maybe daily. We drag the vCenter instance across. Once again, you may have more than one. All right, we'll just hit next on these. In this case, we're running this daily. Okay, and we create. And yes, we can see that it's going to run here daily. All right, so that's your schedule. There are also a few other things that you can look at in here as well. You can look at you can generate reports. You can look at the history, and you can also look at the particular jobs that you have. So once again, you can have many different configuration templates, and you can configure jobs to run at different times. All right, to go back to the home screen of VCF operations and look, you can actually see that from the main dashboard, we can actually see that we have a drift there in place. All right, so that's configuration drift.